Welcome to the weekly energy weather report with me, Irina, your energy alchemist, spiritual life guide, and here to give you some insight on what's going on with the moon this week, how you can harness the energy of it to make the most of your week. Okay, so let's jump in. We're going to start off right with a card reading, and I got my special Halloween spooky deck that I love to use this time of year. And one of the things that I'm called to talk about, let's get these extra cards out, right now, is that when I read the cards, really it's about a language of intuition. It's about learning how to communicate with my hunches and inklings and feelings and put words to them to open up a dialogue. And it's very important that when I read, I make a concentrated and mindful effort to say, I'm connecting with my angels or my guides or my higher self or God universe, but I set that intention. So I'm not just opening it up for free for all, like whatever's out there, I'm open to answers. No. I'm centered, I'm within my spirit, I'm grounded, and I set the intention. And today I'm going to say, okay, God universe, what is the most important thing that we all know going into this week? And I go ahead and I see who's popping up. Oh, and I get 10 of imps. Isn't that fun? So it's like 10 of wands, meaning that it might have been a struggle. You've been carrying, that's confirmation, that little beat, carrying a lot. You're trying to carry all the things, but some of the things are falling and dropping. Basically saying, don't try to do all the projects at once. There's an importance of releasing and letting go and focusing on where your energy is best spent. The imp's energy, which is really wands, is fire. This is your energy. Where are you going to benefit most from pouring your attention and energy into? There are things that we can end up wasting time on, or we're trying to do all the things at once and nothing ends up going well. And it's saying, listen, don't try to do all the projects this week. It's okay if some things, you put them down, I'll get back to it, because trying to carry like all the grocery bags from the car at once just means that something's probably going to get dropped. And we don't want to do that because it's never fun to drop things and deal with that picking up later on. Now, when we look at the cards, it's energy, right? It's a weather report, and it gives us an opportunity to say, oh, all right, going into this week, there might be a tendency to try to do all the things. So we're opening up our intuitive abilities to tune in and say, all right, well, I'm going to ask Spirit, I'm going to ask my angels to tap me on the shoulder in a gentle and a sweet way when I'm doing too much. Then starting to notice, how do you get those little symbols or signs that say, okay, you know what, take a step back, relax a little bit. You don't have to do everything right now. Next week is there too. And that language of intuition isn't always easy to speak in the beginning. And I am teaching, I don't want to say teaching, but I'm offering an info session all about how to develop your intuition, because I'm very excited. The doors to my Energy Alchemist program are opening up, which is all about learning your natural intuitive gifts. So definitely check out the link around this video and come learn more, specifically the 4 simple steps to developing your intuition. It's really quite freeing and quite exciting when you ask questions or you send prayers up to heaven and you can see the insights and the answers, the way they pop up so much faster. Not that they're popping up faster, but they've been around us. We just may not have been able to see them because they might have been coming in a way that we hadn't expected. So for example, many times, we might say, oh yeah, I'll get in touch with you later to a friend. Okay, that's great. But if we haven't established how we're going to get in touch with them, it can cause a lot of confusion. Where are you going to call me? Are you going to text me? Are you going to email me? Are you going to stop by my house? Maybe you've already established a way of communication, but that's because you're friends, you're good friends, you've developed that relationship. So this goes all into developing our intuitive abilities, developing relationships with our guides and angels. It's very exciting. So please check out the info session because you all have natural intuitive gifts. It's just a matter of shaping them, strengthening them, and becoming aware of them. Okay, so with that said, let's talk about the moon, which I always go to my handy dandy Inside of the Moon journal and planner. I do love this so much. Every time I come to it, it's kind of funny because, like sometimes you'll create something and you'll like it, but this is really becoming a friend, a trusted confidant that I love to go to. And I love your feedback as to how those of you who have the journal out there are using it. I am taking pre-orders if you are interested and you want one too. Aha. So journal, nice and shiny. Each week has this section that you can go to on daily affirmations. I love that I am protected popped up this week. It feels really nice because waking up this morning, what I encourage people to do is take note of not only the moon where it is, but also the mood. What are you feeling? And today I definitely felt on edge and a little anxious, and the moon is in Scorpio. And starting off the week with the moon in Scorpio means we need to establish healthy boundaries. Scorpios feel to an incredible depth and intensity, and that's why boundaries are important. It's kind of like if you think about having and this is interesting why this is coming through, but like a sunburn, and actually I was even talking with a good friend about she had poison ivy as a child, and how she had to rest in bed just with like a sheet over her and a fan because she couldn't wear anything because the poison ivy was so raw and intense. Sometimes the way that Scorpios feel, there's this rawness and intensity that the boundaries around them have to be very specific to protect them because they're so, they feel with such depth. They're so incredibly loyal. So Monday and Tuesday, as we have a waxing crescent moon, that's important to take note of too. What is the moon doing this week? Is it growing? Is it shrinking? And we just had the eclipse, so that wonderful new moon solar eclipse. And so from the new moon, we move into this waxing crescent phase. And the waxing crescent means as you're in the Scorpio energy, and as it moves on to Sagittarius and Capricorn and wrapping up in Aquarius, what it means is that as the moon's light increases, your energy and strength are going to increase as well. You might have been feeling really fatigued as we were going towards that new moon eclipse, needing extra sleep. I know I was, and being a person who doesn't like to sleep much, I definitely was just wanting to stay in bed a little bit longer. So energy, especially around new moon, and then add the eclipse, we could feel very fatigued. But this week, energy is going to build, so we want to be able to channel it, specifically around emotions. So Monday and Tuesday with the moon in Scorpio, establish, I would say, a strategy. If you know that you've got to be out in a crowd, or you have to have a difficult conversation, or you're working on something that's tender or potentially triggering to your heart, set up a strategy to basically protect yourself, to have healthy boundaries, to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to put a limit on the amount of time I talk to this person, or I'm going to reschedule our call to next week. Or maybe it's with physical health. You say, okay, I'm going to make sure I don't have any of the sweet treats in the house that I go to when the emotions are big. It's a strategy. Come up with a plan or a strategy for Monday and Tuesday when the emotions are going to feel a little bit more intense. Then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday with the moon in Sagittarius, there's this freedom, this adventure, this love and play. So it's a day where you might feel like, don't fence me in. I need to get out there. I need to explore. I need to just go and do. So Wednesday and Thursday, be aware of the downloads you might receive around, I'm going to say stories, but when I say stories, it's a way of understanding. And then Friday, Capricorn energy, Friday and Saturday. Capricorn is a responsible one. So where on Wednesday and Thursday, you might have been going on adventures and looking towards the optimistic bright side and expanding. Come Friday and Saturday, it's going to be like, all right, let's make sure we have our chores done, we get our ducks in a row. There's certain responsibilities that need tending to. So Friday and Saturday are great if you have to work on business. If Wednesday and Thursday you're running into difficulty, don't beat yourself up. Again, come up with a strategy where you say, okay, I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra recess time, maybe a little bit more play time, and then still work, but know that on Friday and Saturday I'm really buckling down. So maybe the recess you would have had on Friday and Saturday, you move to Wednesday and Thursday, that extra time. And then Sunday, as we move into the first quarter energy, the first quarter moon is a beautiful time. So where you've been growing in personal power, first quarter moon is when you make decisions, right there. You make decisions on your new moon intentions. So it's kind of like you've gotten to the point where you're like, all right, I had this dream that I wanted to pour into my energy into this area, but now that I've gathered more information, I've done the research with the Waxing Crescent, I found out some things and I need to refine a little bit, and I need to just make sure that I'm on track for what my heart really desires. With that being said, rituals that I'm going to be doing this week, and I encourage you to do as well, I have them in the journal. So at the beginning of every week, I set, it's always backwards with Facebook, it's hard to remember. I set my intention for the week, the top 3 things I'm going to work on, which I'm still kind of feeling into right now, the crystal that I'm going to play with, the ritual I'm going to do to help me, and how I'm going to nourish my spirit or feed my soul. And specifically, as I go into this week, one of the things that I know, even just waking up on edge and feeling a little anxious today, definitely working with my blue lace agate crystal. This is one that calms anxiety. It opens up the throat, so the chimney of the heart, and enables you to be really authentic and true to your voice. I'm going to be working with this as well as the mudra. So in here with the rituals, I have for every month, and it's dateless, so you can start wherever you want, sacred rituals. And this week, what really is calling to me is the hand gesture. I need something that's kind of active. I've got this restlessness where sitting for seated meditation just doesn't feel appealing. I'm gonna have to channel the energy. I need something a little bit more with movement. So the Akash Mudra, where you take middle finger and thumb and bring it together. And so this is a great way to connect with your intuition and with Source or God, Universe. So this is going to be my practice for this week. It's so simple, it doesn't have to be much. If you want to do more than that, you can, but you'll see also at the beginning of the month, you've got a series of practices that you can do and themes that enable you to harness this energy. Okay, so let me know any questions you have in the comments below. Come to the info session that's happening tomorrow night, Tuesday, October 17th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific if you're watching this live, and click on that link to make sure that you get all of the goodies and the information on how to develop your intuition in 4 simple steps. It's my signature system. Can't wait to share it with you. All right, catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.